Hello again and welcome to the 100th episode of the Fun Fans Podcast. Yes, our 100th show, the centennial of sports, the great milestone marker of the airway. Okay, that's enough of that. But with me as always, I'm your host, James Diller. With me as always, my co-host, Bailey Jackson. How you doing, Bailey?
I'm good. We're centenarians.
Centenarians?
Yes. Did you know that there's only 722,000 centenarians in the world? Those are people that live to 100, and this podcast has lived to 100. So put us at 722,001.
That's right. Centenarians. We're masters of the metric system.
Yes.
Ooh. All right. It's going to be an awesome 100th episode tonight. And it's also Mother's Day. So we can't wait to give some shout outs to some mothers out there. We're going to bust out the crystal ball for this 100th episode special. And we're going to talk a little graduation congratulations for some, maybe a specific person or two and across the board. And as always, catch up on all current Clemson athletics. But first, the Fun Fans are a proud part of the Fanboys Fangirls Sports Podcasting Network. If you're a true sports fan, the Fanboys Fangirls is perfect for you. Find various nationwide podcasts and other sports media at thefanboys.com and all forms of social media. The Fun Fans Podcast is the official podcast for Clemson fans.
And for probably almost all 100 episodes, we'd like to thank Reuben's Food, Sports, Spirits, and Catering, the best wings around with 2 locations in the upstate, 1083 Batesville Road in Greer and 11028 Anderson Road in Piedmont. You can find them at RubensC.com. Rubens is simply a great place to eat for all sports fans.
All right. We were there last night. So they have a lot of new stuff on the menu, so go check it out. So here we are with the 100th episode. How can we commemorate the 100th Fun Fans Podcast as only the Fun Fans can, right? We was kind of a little unique show we got going here. So I got to thinking, like you did that's a good job pointing out, how many people live to 100. That's pretty cool. Yeah. And a lot of folks, a lot of shows would go back, here is our top 10 or top 100 moments or something in the past shows. But here at the Fun Fans, we have some special tools. We had a hidden mic in Chicago. Mm-hmm. Thought we had a little inside information on the first pick of the NFL draft. But we also have the ability to look into the future. Here at the Fun Fans Podcast, we have our own crystal ball.
I am going to ask you after this to reflect for a second.
Okay, we'll get some reflection. Mm-hmm. So what we did is we looked into the future. Sound. I'm stealing that from Wayne and Garth.
Wayne's World.
Okay, so as we look into our crystal ball, 100 years from now. And we check the headlines. February 1st, 21-24. It says Coach Sweeney steps down. So what in the world could that possibly mean? Warren Sweeney, grandson of former Clemson coach Dabo Sweeney, is finally retiring after surpassing his grandfather's number of national championships at Clemson with 16.
Nice.
Wow. That's pretty impressive. So that means Dabo has 13 more to go, right?
Yeah, let's hope it's the next 13.
All right. So, hey, you heard it here, so it's got to be true. All right. So let's see.
What's next?
Next, we have from the Daily Bugle.
Okay.
February 3rd, 21-24. Notre Dame wins the co-ed championship. It says Notre Dame Fighting Irish co-ed lacrosse team wins their 3rd national title in a row, defeating Ohio State in the championship 19-18. So I don't know, maybe they sometime between now and the next 100 years they finally got that gender thing figured out or something.
I don't know.
Yeah, possibly. All right, moving on. The Post, March 29th. 21-24, high school senior signs $1 billion deal with USC. Texas prep star Julius Hopewell signs $7 billion 3-year deal to play football for the USC Trojans. So, well,
I mean, that could actually be sooner than 100 years.
it's
And
it's in
it
the
depends on
post.
what your dollar is worth. Gas prices are also $800 a gallon.
Yeah, maybe so. You never know. Okay, all right. So we got a couple more here. 2 more. 100 years from now, from the Daily Planet, college athletes on strike. This is April 20th, 21-24.
Is that where Clark Kent worked?
I don't know. Maybe.
I don't think so.
NC State and other ACC men's basketball teams walk out just before the conference tournament. The players are upset about how the women's team players make so much more money than they do.
And their employees.
This means 2 things. So not only has the tides changed, the coin is flipped, but it means that NC State is still in the ACC.
Right.
100 years from now.
That means that conference is still alive.
That's right.
Let's hope it stays alive.
It's still alive.
I like it.
All right, last one. To commemorate the 100th episode of the Fun Fans podcast, our crystal ball tells us, from the Daily Tiger, the Fun Fans win late night. I can't really, May 3rd, 21-24. So let's get into the nitty gritty on this one. The Fun Fans podcast, founded in 2022 by James Dillard and Bailey Jackson. Hey, that's us.
Mm-hmm.
Has been crowned the king of sports late night by fans. The fun, witty sports show started with audio only in a closet. Look at there. Has now been entertaining sports fans all over the world for 100 years. The current hosts, Bill and Ted, honored James and Bailey on their last show, which was viewed by over 7 trillion people. Wow.
Where do all 7 trillion people live?
That's in Reedville, probably.
Yeah.
And Clover.
Lake Wiley.
Yeah, at that point. So, wow, man, that's, what are you going to say? 100 shows, 100 years from now.
I'm going to ask you, what's your favorite thing we've done in 100?
So, my favorite thing that, like, we've done on the show, or we've done maybe for the show, I guess, or
anything.
Or just
what's your
anything.
favorite moment?
I really like doing things that probably help people, just being completely honest. The things, and I don't, we don't track a lot. We don't have a producer. We don't have we don't track a lot of what we do, but I know we've had the United Row girls on here.
Right.
And we've had Candace Heatherly, who was a cancer survivor, and now she does baskets for other cancer survivors. And, the United Row people are raising money for Hear Her Roar, the female athlete thing at Clemson. And, I don't know if having them on the show and throwing their stuff out on our social media has helped them at all. But if it has, then I felt like, if surely it's helped them get, one more person or one more donations worth of exposure. And honestly, that's what I like the most about what we do. What about you?
You know what? I think it's just the fact that we have stuck with this and we kept going. When we get some grief from folks, sometimes, and they you got a podcast. Well, actually, it's a little more popular than some people, the naysayers, think. So we don't track the numbers, but the numbers are trending. Let's put it that way. So please share this and let's keep going, because we're not going to stop. We're going to be here at 8:00 on Sundays unless something happens to one of us. And then if you can't be here, I'll do it, and vice versa. So just the fact that we've stuck it out and stuck to it, we've gone from audio to video, and we're on several different platforms. It's just kind of fun to do. So that's why we do it.
Yeah, it is fun. Every time we get on here, you and I just chatting about sports for 15, 20, 25 minutes it's pretty much the highlight of it. It is one of the highlights of my week, for real. It's kind of an escape. and it's definitely fun. I know we enjoy it. And, we started this all about the tailgate, and you got me thinking, I mean, every tailgate in Clemson is fun with a capital F.
Mhm.
So, and the Clemson fans know that, and all sports fans know that. So that's kind of what we're on here for. So that's awesome. Anything else on the commemorative 100th segment here?
No, I mean, I like the fact that we've had some guests. We've had some. I like it when the kids, the athletes are on, um, and they get a chance to talk to us because they all almost exclusively to a person say, "Man, that was cool. Appreciate you having us on there." Because and it's not the people that normally get interviewed on the news. It's the folks that don't get interviewed. So, hey, we're going to keep reaching out and keep trying to find people to talk to. So,
That's right. That's right. You know what we're going to need to do that?
I need some energy.
We're going to need some energy. If you need some energy, go to w.gg, enter promo code FUNFANS, and get your 10% off of your Jitterless energy drink mix from W. Really good stuff, really refreshing stuff. All right, so we're gonna get into our catching up with Clemson Athletics. A little kind of thin this time of year, and let's just say not good news for Clemson baseball this weekend. Got swept by the Demon Deacons. But hey, I didn't watch today's game. The kids are still playing well. Wake's just a really good team. Now, how we got swept, whatever. Did you watch any of that? I'm sure
No,
you did.
it's baseball. It's baseball. Okay.
You've been busy. Their whole field's turf.
I've had a very busy week or two. Yes.
Yeah. And we'll talk about some more of that in a second. But when they turf a baseball field, so even the dirt was fake, right?
Can be.
The dirt was like their gold color and the green what was supposed to be. That's new to me. That looked kind of weird.
I will actually be at TL Hannah High School tomorrow, where our softball team will be playing, and they have all turf baseball and softball fields.
I remember seeing that when I was there for a track meet. So that's even the dirt. Check the dirt part because I've seen the turf grass.
Yeah, it
turf
is.
Dirt.
It's all
Okay.
Turf.
Well, the baseball team, hopefully they're not starting to slump. They just had a little, whatever. It was Mother's Day weekend. I believe they're still in first place in the ACC. Not 100% sure about that, but I know they're really up there at the top. And it's like whatever. They have one more stand, and then they get into the postseason. Softball beat Virginia in the ACC tournament. This was like Thursday. And then they played a 10-inning game against Duke, had them beat. I think there was a little bit of a controversial call, but they lost to Duke in the semis, and Duke went on to win the whole thing. So the softball team's still playing really well as well.
And they will be in Tuscaloosa this weekend for the Tuscaloosa Regional, where they are. Obviously, Alabama's the host. They're like the number 14 overall seed. And Clemson plays Southeastern Louisiana Friday at 2:00 on the ACC network.
Okay. Very good. And both our men's and women's golf teams still going, is my understanding.
Yeah, the girls' golf team is actually going to be at the national championships this weekend in Carlsbad, California.
Nice.
The cool thing is the other day, the softball team was getting their stuff at the senior luncheon, and then they had to leave immediately because they were traveling to the ACC tournament.
Deuces. Got to go. Got work to do. That's things, student athletes. This is something else. And we'll get to more of that here in a second. But let's kind of circle back. I want to spend a second on some high school sports because I know at least you talked about your softball team still playing. Your baseball team still playing? Clover, Blue Eagles?
We have track and softball still going. On Friday at 1:00 in Columbia, South Carolina, our girls soccer team captured their first 5A state championship.
State champs.
Beating Chapin 2-1. Right. And it was intense. It was hot. We had a great crowd. People go, why'd you play the game at 1:00? Why would they play a game at 1:00 on a Friday? Well, there's a lot of soccer matches to be played over 2 days at the same facility. And honestly, the first game of the day is the best game of the day because it's going to start on time.
On time. So
I
y'all
will
were
tell you a quick story. We left there, and Fort Mill was getting ready to play Stratford in the 5A boys state championship. When I was getting ready to leave our home softball game that started late because of rain at 8:45, they had just finished the game right after hours in Columbia.
oh wow.
They had a 2 hour and 5 minute rain delay. They had two 10-minute overtimes, two 5 minute overtimes, and they went to penalty kicks. Okay, that's not that big a deal. But they had two games still to play after that.
Right. Yeah.
So the Daniel and Waccamaw maybe final finished at 1:30 a.m.
Holy goodness.
on
All
Friday.
right. Mm. So your boys soccer team were runner up then?
No, we were really loaded. We lost in the third round of jail, man.
Okay.
In the 99th minute, which was 1 minute short of the second overtime being over, and it was gut wrenching and heartbreaking.
Gotcha.
But our girls played awesome throughout the playoffs. They beat the Max Prep rankings. We were like fourth or fifth, and we beat 1, 2, 3, and 5 in the playoffs. So they deserved it, and they were super excited.
Congrats to the Lady Blue
So was
Eagle
I.
soccer team. Yeah, yeah. And good luck to the softball team. And the GMC Blazers, the soccer boys and girls had a pretty good season. I think they both got one game away from playing for the upper state, but this past Saturday, our girls track finished first in the upper state and the boys finished runner up. So they're looking pretty good as they head to the state track meet coming up. So congrats to those Blazers and the Blue Eagles. All right. So that's high school. That's a little bit of extra high school sports, but they deserve it, like you say. Give us an O's update.
Still rolling.
Rolling.
Got beat today, but second best record in baseball, only behind the Phillies because the Phillies have played two more games than those. But it's fun.
Awesome. Speaking of baseball and fun, this is only interesting to people in Spartanburg, so we're not going to spend but 2 seconds on this. Spartanburg announced a new baseball minor league team. They've had a team, didn't have a team, brought a team back.
Is it an independent league team?
It's a minor league with the Rangers. So that means no, right? They're an affiliate with the Rangers. The independent
so they're
team,
like a single A team?
They're like a single A or something, yes. So it's a Rangers affiliate, and they announced the mascot name, and they are the Hub City Spartanburgers.
All right.
Hey, and that sounds fun to me. But a lot of folks on social media, let's say the name's getting eaten up on social media, pun intended, and a lot of folks, how dumb it is or whatever. But it's minor league baseball. Let's have a good time. Just be glad in my opinion, just be glad there's baseball back in town. It'll be that's always a good time for folks, families, and whatnot. So,
and they don't actually start playing until next year.
Yeah, don't get too hung up on the name there, Spartanburgers. But anyway, and congratulations for having a team. Congratulations to one. All right, now is our graduation segment.
Oh yeah.
Who's more excited? Bailey let me pick the picture. I didn't have many.
I think we're all very excited.
Yeah.
I will tell you a quick story. I'm not a huge fan of the screaming out and cheering when your person's name is called, because I always worry that the next person will go into their airtime.
Right.
But so we just kind of kept it classy, and we were just sitting there and like kind of, yay, Katie, real quiet. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, my son screams, "Yeah, Katie!" And the lady in front of him almost broke her phone and startled her. But it was a great day. We had a good week. We were over there on Wednesday, and we had the senior where they get their stoles, senior athlete graduates. So I will say this, PJ Hall, if you're listening, I tried to sit at your table. My daughter would not let me. Joe Girard, I'm sorry. We could have had a great conversation. Coach Brownell, he came in. We could have had a great chat, but we were not allowed to sit there because my daughter said we're not sitting at the basketball table. We sit at the cheerleading table.
No. See, so that's not putting the podcast first there.
Right. She was only thinking of herself.
Bless her heart. Well, congratulations. And, Bailey did have a couple of events because she was an athlete and it looked really cool. And you think Clemson did a good job as far as what they did for the graduating athletes, in your opinion?
Oh, yeah. That's a really cool event. I mean, there was good food. I mean,
check.
A lot of the athletes had already, maybe they weren't there. And I won't say a lot. There were some athletes not there. But it's probably because they had, maybe some of them had done it last year. The ones that were getting graduate certificates or graduate degrees, they had already done theirs, so they didn't come. But I will say this: the majority of the head coaches were there, which I thought was impressive, because the head coach actually puts the soul on the athlete when they walk up. And there was one glaring no-show on the head coaches, and that was the big man. But Woody McCorvey, his chief of staff, basically came and did that. So
chief of staff. Very good.
That's basically what he is.
Well, congratulations to all the graduates. Seen lots of pictures on social media. So stepping stone, good luck to you in whatever your future endeavors are. And definitely congratulations to our Katie Jackson, and good luck to her. And we look forward. I've actually had a conversation with Jalen. You can tell Katie, it's going to change the dynamics of the tailgate because, I'm assuming, Katie and maybe a friend of hers or two will be there with us. And it'll, instead of her standing there in her cheerleading outfit for 5 minutes and then having to go ahead to whatever is they have to do. So
right.
that'll be fun having a couple more folks or a bunch of more folks with us for sure with Katie. Speaking of graduates, next Sunday, like Bailey said, something will happen here on the podcast, but I will not be included, or it will be a replay of my face because that's the actual graduation day for my daughter, Jillian, who's getting her master's from George Dub. So they have a Sunday graduation on the mall, the National Mall.
Nice.
And then we're flying home that night so we can get back to work. So next Sunday will be more graduation stuff kind of interfering, but we'll definitely be back live on Memorial Day weekend, and that should be a special show. Excuse me, I'm assuming it being Memorial Day weekend, so we'll come up with something really cool for that. And last announcement, speaking of really cool, I talked with Wayne Buckingham this week, and just want to announce our special partnership with WAB Sports to be the official podcast for the second year in a row for the Orange and White weekend, the entire alumni Orange and White weekend. It is a fundraiser for about 3 different things. Not going to get totally into it right now, but it's the first weekend in August. You can participate in as much or as little as you want. I'm going to put the links on our social media, and obviously you can just Google WAB Sports or Orange and White weekend, and these things will pop up. But it is a really, really good time, rubbing some elbows, and you're raising money for a really good cause. And we are extremely proud to be the official podcast of the Orange and White weekend again and partner with WAB Sports. I had the other things going on with the ticker. Speaking of partnerships, I got my True Victory shirt on, so don't mention True Victory too much, but I love the clothing that I got from these guys. So, and then one last shout out to the mothers. Happy Mother's Day to my mom, Bailey.
Yep. Happy Mother's Day, Mom.
Happy Mother's Day, Mom. Yep. Love you guys. Happy Mother's Day, Melanie, and happy Mother's Day to all of the mothers out there. So we'll finish where we started. Just a reminder. We have now completed 100 episodes of the Fun Man podcast. We hope you enjoyed the show. We look forward to you being with us for another 100 shows. Contrary to what Hollywood podcasts portray, kids, we really don't know what the next 100-year holds. So you got to get out there and get after it.
That's
Congrats to Katie and all the 2024 graduates. And one final happy Mother's Day To all the moms, get out there and enjoy these last spring sports with whatever college you support. Thanks again for checking us out each and every Sunday and Wednesday. Don't forget to click subscribe on the Fun Fans Podcast YouTube channel, as well as your favorite podcast platform. Follow us on social media, and please share. Reach out to become a sponsor on behalf of the Fun Fans Podcast, J Thrill Entertainment, the Fanboys Fangirls Podcast Network, WAB Sports, and Bailey Jackson.
That's right. 100 podcasts on the wall. Take one down, pass it around, and then go to 99, and you can share them with everybody. Thanks for listening, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for listening.